Hey everybody, I made a video on day 3 after my tonsillectomy, septoplasty, and cyst removal from my sinus, and the intention was to be making a video daily, like you see, many people have done. I always got frustrated when people, oh, well, I missed yesterday, I just couldn't do it. That, not the case for me. What wound up happening is that the cam that I was using decided to not work. Um, so, didn't make the videos. So this is just a couple weeks post-op. As you can see, I already sound a lot clearer. I feel a lot better. I can breathe through my nose. The sleep, oh my goodness, wow. I said it was improved a bit on day 3, but after the splints came out of my sinuses, there was a lot of big, bloody, painful scabbing. I won't go into detail. It was gross. If you ever get a septoplasty, you get to look forward to that yourself. Not altogether painful, just disgusting. Um, but once those came out, I mean, I've never breathed through my nose like that before. And just the sleep, whoa, amazing. So a couple details about surgery that I didn't know until a little bit later. I was kind of doped up. I didn't have adenoids out. I apparently didn't have them at all. So, lucky. Well, lucky with, the giant infected cyst that took up like half of the volume of my maxillary sinus. Uh, the couple things I wanted to go into. First of all, the first video, I didn't want to come off as condescending at all. People that experience this as this unbearable, life-ending sort of pain, my heart really goes out to them. Anybody, if you hadn't been through something horrible, like, anybody who's broken their femur, this is like vacation time, right? I couldn't even imagine that pain. But to go from, a relatively comfortable life to that, fuck, that would suck. But, again, I'll reiterate that I think preparation for this is really key. I think, the things that I was saying all drugged up on day 3 are absolutely true. Find the medicine that works for you. Find the diet that works for you. You're going to want to make sure that you can take effective pain medication and that you don't do anything to upset your stomach. That is just absolutely key. I see people that have vomited after tonsillectomy, and, I'm sure you get through it. Our brain is remarkably good at forgetting painful experiences, but I wouldn't want to live through that. So definitely do your homework. Start eating stuff and seeing what balances out the mucus and that sort of thing. What else? Something that you might be tempted to do is to buy baby food. You get plenty of nutrients, it goes down easy. Or yogurt. Another one of those things where you're just like, oh, yes, it's rich in protein. The probiotics are amazing. Because you're going to go through 3 or 4 series of antibiotics. That's just their surgery for you. Especially when you're talking about something open in your face where infection can grow easily. So you might think, oh, yogurt, yeah, probiotics, woo. Careful. On day 4, for me, which actually was more painful than day 3, to some extent, the peaks of pain were higher to my own fault. I decided that I was going to eat banana baby food. Bananas curb acid reflux. If you have acid reflux, bananas should be in your daily diet. They really should be anyways, and they're great for you. So I thought banana baby food, awesome. I didn't carefully read the ingredients, and all this stuff connects right here, I promise. In the ingredients, you have bananas pureed, some water, maybe, citric acid. Now, normally that's harmless, no problem. Go into the ingredients of yogurt. I had a friend who had a tonsillectomy, and she was like, "Oh, yogurt was just the worst. It burned so bad, it hurt so bad." I'm like, if you can eat ice cream, what the heck? Basically, every thing of Yoplait yogurt that I've looked at, side ingredient, citric acid. Um, Now, citric acid normally not a big deal, but you'll see people with, talking about tonsillectomy saying, "Don't drink orange juice." Rah! High levels of citric acid. That burning on day 4 from citric acid, it was only 15 minutes of pain, by far the worst moment of the entire recovery. It was the only time that my 1 to 10 pain level exceeded 7. It sucked. So careful on that, definitely. Beyond that, excuse me, just a second. Let's drink this again. Beyond that, the recovery, like I say, day 3 overall, just like the whole day, was pretty much the worst. Some pieces of advice I'll give you. If you're lucky enough to not be a mouth breather, then this will apply a bit less. But see, when I had the septoplasty done, it was real hard to breathe through my nose a lot, and so I was breathing through my mouth. Well, during the day I was constantly eating crushed ice, or trying to drink water, or eating popsicles or ice cream or whatever, things that were coating my throat. But when I went to sleep, breathing through my mouth for 4+ hours straight dried out my tonsils. Every time that I woke up in the first week, other than being in the hospital and I just morphine, it was just awful. I dreaded going to sleep. I remember throughout the day, like the days would fly by because I'm taking Percocet every few hours and watching. Actually, I just watched a lot of Pawn Stars because you don't have to focus that much on it. But I would dread going to sleep because waking up was so painful. I mean, my waking up ritual was the same. Wake up, like, okay, I'm fine. Take a drink of water. Oh my god, worst pain of my whole life. Scramble, get up, run to the freaking kitchen, grab, like, pudding or whatever, and, sorry, something was rattling. Grab pudding, whatever I can to throw a Percocet on. Pound it back, eat like 2 or 3 popsicles, just, this is like the worst thing in my whole life for like an hour. Or, probably a half hour. Medicine kicks in for me pretty quick. It was just like, man, I never figured out like the best way to get around that, but if you can sort out a way to prevent that, I definitely would. Maybe taking extra medicine at night, setting an alarm 3 hours later, take up, pop another Percocet, whatever. Something my surgeon did tell me, and this is kind of a testament to how easy, I guess, my recovery was. He said that once a day I could take 2 extra Percocet in addition to the 1. So I could just pop 3 Percocet and fucking go for it, right? I never did. It said, this kind of pissed me off too. So my first bottle of Percocet said take 1 every 4 hours, and don't exceed X milligrams of Tylenol per day. I think, like 4,000. Well, my next bottle said take 1 to 2 every 4 hours. I never did. The most Percocet I ever took in a day was 6.5 of them. So what I would recommend to anybody probably is when you go to sleep, time it so your Percocet, take a whole one right before you go to sleep. Set an alarm for 3 hours later, maybe even 2.5. Take another one, rinse and repeat. Over those 8 hours of sleeping, because you'll nap during the day, like on the couch and stuff, that's fine. But over the long period of sleep, when you're really drying out your mouth, particularly if you're a mouth breather, if you had a septoplasty too, don't hesitate. Over those 8 hours, take 3, 4 Percocet. Because, oh my god, when you wake up on the 3rd or 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th morning, It sucks. It sucks so bad. It, oh. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of people made too. They say the whole experience is like the worst thing ever. That is not the case. That's something that I've realized. The peaks, I said to somebody who asked me about this, I was in excruciating pain a couple hours a day. The rest of the time you're sore, you just got to keep the right mental attitude. You can't sit and feel sorry for yourself. Like, oh, why did I do this? Put your best foot forward. Suck it up. Know that it's temporary. Know that you're not going to remember it. And, you know, you'll remember the fact that it was painful, but the experience, even the worst, when I had all that citric acid on my throat, I look back at that and I'm like, that wasn't that bad. Psh. Which is, I'm glad I made the day 3 video before my camera broke at least, to really put into perspective how not bad this was. But I think that was because, again, of good preparation, but also just a positive mental attitude. Just, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to watch TV, I'm going to enjoy myself. If something painful comes along, and it will, I'll just deal with that. It'll be temporary. If it's that bad, I can pop another Percocet and it's gone in a half hour. And, that was awesome. Absolutely. I would recommend more pain medicine, because I took, to just don't exceed 6 per day. But when, you look at the Tylenol maximums, it was more like don't exceed 12 per day. Like, I could have been for days, 3, 4, 5, which are the worst. But yeah, I don't know. Having had it a bit harder in the sense that I had to breathe through my mouth and that was drying out my tonsils. I had, nose pain on top of that. I would just say don't look too far into it. Prepare yourself to you're going to experience really bad pain periodically. But it's not like this constant horror show. And it's absolutely worth it once you come out on the other side. I mean, don't think that it isn't for a second. If you're getting these out, you're doing it for a reason. Mine was to fix my sleep. I just happened to have all sorts of tonsil stones and freaking infections and crap all over the place, so added bonus. But yeah, I just, I remember I looked up tissue welding, and I almost canceled my tonsillectomy. Oh, no, let's just do the septoplasty. I'm going to go find a tissue welding doctor because this just looks too painful. Don't bother, it's a week. I definitely take 2 weeks off because the second week is pretty sucky still. You're still going to be taking I think I took Percocet for 11 days, very consistently. But I don't know. I wouldn't worry about it that much. Yeah, avoid really acidic foods. Figure out what medicine works right for you. Find a way to fill your stomach. I mean, if you absolutely can't do dairy, find some way of getting fat or something in your stomach. Because the pain pills are critical. I'll say that again. If you did this without pain pills, my hat's off to you. Because, I wouldn't want to experience that. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Yeah. Again, I think, I don't know, I might even disable comments to these videos, but don't read into them. People are going to tell you that it's way worse than it is. The thing you got to remember, too, it's like if you go and search for an apartment on Yelp or something like that, you're going to see all of these shit reviews, right? Like, I live in Bellevue, Washington, in, a great place. I'm very blessed. And when I was looking around the high-rises for an apartment to get close to work, once I got my computer science degree, all of them had terrible reviews. Every single one. I mean, 30% recommendation at most. And I was talking to the to the leasing agent here, and, I told him, yeah, this had the least bad, it had at least like 30% good reviews. It's like, wow, that good? That's amazing. And, just candidly. And there's, what, 300 people per high rise. You don't think about it. Even this video, it took me forever to get around to doing. I've been back to work already. I'm okay. It took me a long time to get around to this video because I don't care that much in terms of my own discomfort. I'm making this because I do care, because I experienced probably more mental discomfort before the surgery than after. So keep that in mind. You're going to see the worst of it online, because the people where it's not that bad, like my good friend, she told me the whole time, I don't know what these people are talking about. It wasn't that bad. Like, it was fine. It sucked a little, but whatever. Those people are not going to make the videos, right? Because there's, whatever. So, yeah, I know I kind of repeat myself here, but I feel it's so important to emphasize, do your homework. Make sure you know what you can eat without causing a lot of mucus. Dairy is so perfect because you have high protein, high fat content. I mean, you can't. When I had my wisdom teeth, I had all 4 surgically removed. They had to cut them out and all that shit and put me under. It was the same thing. It was Frosties. Just because you can take whatever medicine on a full stomach of ice cream and it won't be upset. You might need to take, stool softeners, maybe even laxatives, things like that. When you start mixing a high amount of dairy with a high amount of opiates, you don't poop. So bear that in mind too. If you are on like day 5 and you haven't pooped yet, call your doctor. I know it's not something you really want to talk about, but the last thing you need on top of everything else is some horrible, horrible stomach pain. You're just like, oh my God. So yeah, definitely just keep all that in mind. And go shopping beforehand too. I spent like $90 in groceries. I bought 4 different types of Otter Pops. I mean, bags of popsicles, ice cream, applesauce, pudding, everything you can think of. And I ran out in like 3 days. Which goes to another point. Make sure you have somebody with you for the first week. If you're one of the unlucky few, or, a blood clot pops out of your tonsil and you hemorrhage, that sucks. I mean, you gotta zoom over to the hospital, get it patched up real quick. Have somebody with you. Absolutely. And have somebody who can, go to the store. When you run out of popsicles, you're going to want that. So yeah, just homework. Gotta do your homework. Because you can make this a very painless recovery. Sorry it's been such a long video, but I was so afraid before the surgery, and I've had surgeries before, like I say, with no fear at all. I'm, not anxious about going under, none of that, but I was so afraid of this surgery. And, if I could go back and just implant what I know now into past me, I'd go into that, I'd be wheeled into the OR laughing. Well, I kind of was anyways after the anesthesiologist gave me what he called a margarita in my IV. But, I'd walk into the hospital laughing because there's not much to worry about. You can say all you want that I got lucky and that I had it easy and blah, 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 blah. I did in the sense that I had effective painkillers, but that was preparation. Before I went into the OR, my surgeon knew I need Percocet, not Vicodin. Vicodin doesn't do crap for me. Percocet is an effective painkiller for me. And he was right on board. And, I had a house stocked with the right food. The citric acid thing, definitely keep in mind, but I minimized the possibility of painful outcomes. And, if you just go into it not really thinking about it, no good. Also, I have like 5 packs of gum that I never used. People talk about ear pain and how gum helps, so grab some gum too. Who cares? Like $1. Um, yeah. Uh, but yeah, like I say, tons of comments going to tell me how easy I had it. I had a septoplasty and a giant cyst removed from my sinus at the same time. I couldn't breathe through. The oxygen in the hospital had to go into my mouth on my freshly cauterized out tonsils. So I don't think I had it that lucky. I think I had great preparation and a very, very good attitude. I mean, if I deal with painful things, when I had my gallstone attack, I was drenched. You could wring my shirt out of sweat because I was in so much pain. I was just pouring. And I was still laughing and joking with the firefighters in the ambulance going to the hospital. That's the kind of guy I am. And even if you're not that kind of person, get yourself in that attitude. Go in there thinking, I'm going to come out, it's going to suck, but I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be positive, put my best foot forward. I've done the preparation, I know I'm going to get through it, and I'm not going to remember it at the end, and I'm just going to have a markedly better life. You do that, you have nothing to worry about going in. So, I hope this helps somebody. I hope it doesn't offend too many people that really had trouble with the surgery. Obviously, I feel for you. I just got done going through it. But, I definitely. A side note, if you are getting a septoplasty at the same time, you'll get these saline rinses here. I'm just going to grab this thing. This Nelly Med sinus rinse. And get distilled water. Make sure that it's fairly warm. Use that stuff as often as recommended. For me, it was 3 times a day. Do it. Anytime I'd skip a night or something, I'm just going to go to bed, I would wake up and I would really regret it. Waking up with all that crap, so painful, way more uncomfortable than just doing it. So, with that said, I hope this helps somebody, and feel free to leave a comment, send me a message if you have questions. If you're going into the surgery, you're nervous, if you just got out and you're recovering and you have some problem. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you great advice. I'm a software developer, but I might be able to at least share something helpful. Maybe something that I didn't mention here, something I didn't think about. I can't, like I say, I can't give medical advice, but, or even just tell you a joke, get your chin up, I don't know. So, good luck, and, I hope that anybody that has similar experiences, or even negative, positive, whatever, will make these thorough videos for other people, because there needs to be more than 3 people on YouTube talking about these surgeries. It's just the videos that are up there are just going to give people panic attacks. So if this helped you, pay it forward, make a video, make a series of videos if your webcam doesn't break when you're coming out of surgery, and, let people know how you feel. So, good luck.